Good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm running a minute or so late. We're trying to sort out the giveaway, and I've ended up 10 steps backwards to 1 step forward. So, who have we got tonight? Protech Models. Hello there, Protech Models. Hello. Hi, Craig. Hi, X-Wing Tavern Wars. I'm just going through the bits and pieces now. Yay, there we go. We have... Everything seems to be working spot on. Yeah, I've just had a couple of problems with bits of technology. So, we're back for the Marvel Crisis month. I've still got Magneto on the table. Toad. I've got a couple of ones that I want to do as a quick demonstration of how to do stuff really quick. Some of these figures you can do in half an hour sort of thing. And we'll just get the website up just so we can see bits. That's that. So yeah. Hello, Ronan. And hello, Ash. I haven't seen you for ages, Ronan. Thanks for letting us know you got home safe. So, on the table, lad. There we go. So we've got the scenery bits, so I'm going to do some bits of work on them. We've got Tude. We have the Magnetosons, yeah, something like that. And then we've got I've got a couple. I want to basically show you a quick way of doing both of them. That is Crossbones and Red Skull. Good evening, Beast. You're painting? Wow. Definitely need a drink as well. So we've definitely got some bits and pieces for the gallery later on, which will be fun. And what else is there? Giveaway. I haven't sorted anything for the giveaway. What do we do for the giveaway? What would people like to see for the giveaway? I'm open to options. Hello there, Darren. Over on, I'm guessing, Facebook land or YouTube. So, if we go to the close-up, we've been doing Magneto, and we did the chrome and used, I forgot what it's called, the Forge World Angron Red. Hello, Doom Fairies. Definitely not giving someone else's scenery away that we are building. And so what I want to be doing is the cloak in purple and all of the boots and everything in purple today. I'm really hoping that this purple's going to be a really good base over the grey. So we're going with Phoenician purple, and then a wash, and then maybe a bit of a dry brush to make it pop. Hello there, Seb. How are you doing? As well as our friend Toad. I got the yellow and a darker purple down. I'm probably going to go over the purple with the Phoenician purple as well, just to put a good base down. It was going on a little bit thin when I was using it. So let's start. So yeah, any ideas on giveaways that we could be doing? You must all be sick of... No worries, mate. Any time with you is a pleasure. Yeah, any ideas on a giveaway? What would you like to see? Good evening. Yeah. Good evening, Egan. I knew I picked the wrong ones out. Yeah, I'm not going to be... If you can't get rid of them, how am I meant to get rid of them? So, size 1, unbranded one, that's the ones I wanted. And I'll take the uber small and the wash brush. We're all good. So, Magneto first, I think. Let's get some Phoenician purple down on it. Yeah, there was a tank sent to you last week that you didn't win. Yeah, that was what I was going to say. We have just had a restock of Broken Toad brushes. Both the Kolonsky and the synthetics are now fully stocked. So they're all there. Brush soap, a whole new load of brush soap. There was also the sets. We've just updated all the sets, so we've got at least 5 of each set. So yeah, there's a whole new load of stock over on the website. And Chris, the owner of Broken Toad, has sorted us out a set of different Broken Toads. So there is the flathead and the spearhead. So I've got size 2 and 0 of each one. Excuse me. And these are meant to improve my game with blending and stuff like that. So you can see how no, you can't because I'm not on the screen. So that is the flathead. Haven't used. Get them cracked open and used. So yeah, that's the spearhead version. And sorry, flathead version. And that is the spearhead version. They are meant to be really good. And then the 2 smaller versions are exactly the same for doing blending and stuff like that. So if I get some blending on the go, I might give them a go today. Yes. Limited edition Luke. So I really want to paint him, but I keep going down the route of going, I really want to do him like this colours, no these colours, no these colours, no, and then keep going back to the originals. So something that I did do while we were offline, I re-primed all the grey. Something I probably would do in the future is not fit him in. it just makes it a bit easier to get into, and then glue him in once the paint's all done. So I'm just going with thin coats, so it does look quite see-through to start with. See how much easier this would be if Magneto wasn't in the way. And the whole thing, Magneto is free floating. Basically there's a peg on the back of his neck that holds him to his cloak, and his cloak is the main mounting point. So yeah, I could have done that better. So just get a light coat down over the purple. So like we did with the red, we're not too bothered. Other than the red, I just, if I get paint on the metalwork and stuff like that, the metalwork's going to be like the last thing to do, so it's not too much of a worry. Ooh. Try not to stick my fingers into wet purple paint. I know we spent a lot of time, obviously we built them all last week, and a lot of time getting the red, but the red is just so nice. It's how I did Iron Man, and I just thought the red on Magneto would look fantastic if it had a metallic backdrop to it. And I did some samples last week after I'd done this of trying a metallic purple as well, but there's just nothing to get the purple to the right sort of level of metallics. So, and when I put it side by side, the purple, this purple, looks really nice, and it does set the blue, the red, this version of the red off. Right, so a bit careful. And stuff like this metal wears, I probably wouldn't have fitted it. It's just that little level of awkward. Have we got enough light on that? And now I'm a tad bright now. My head's glaring off people. It's gonna upset the balance. That it is. Camera control. That'll do. That's better. So yeah, I know I'm going to do the metallics afterwards, the metalwork, but I think just for ease, I think some of this shouldn't have been fitted when I did. So it is a little bit of a mistake. There we go. I think this purple is probably the spot on purple for Magneto. And being very careful not to get it on the red. If you do make a mistake and get it onto somewhere like the red, then cotton bud it, or a little bit of dampness on the end of the brush, and just pull the paint off that you didn't want on. especially with this red, it's not going to be an easy one to recreate. Not in a touch-up anyway. So what's everyone been painting? I know Ash has been painting a Tech Marine that should be finished by now. I'm sure Catherine's been painting something nice as well. Other than Martin's toenails. There we go. Again, trying to get in between. So these are it might go smooth enough to be the coats after I've blended it there. So you've got the purple quite well. Slacking. So yeah, doing the two thin coats, the second coat basically covers any of the streaks and stuff like that, and it goes to the full colour, quite well blocked in, as it were. The thing is, if you do a couple of light thin coats as well, you don't get big thick streaks in it, and it doesn't look chunky and horrible. Hello, Smog. Yeah, the purple, I won't tell a lie, it took me a couple of tests to get the right purple for Magneto. I've tried a couple of different ones. I've tried some of the Vallejo. I even tried a couple of army painters. It didn't come out right. I didn't feel as though it was just that looks Magneto purple. So if you are joining us late, after the show last week, I must apologise for not having internet as well. We are back now. We are still getting packet loss. Looking at it, and it's back. We've had a new router fitted, but I'm still not 100%. We had really good speed on the old router. Starting to think we were just lucky and got a good router. Back in the dark ages, yeah. I'm stuck down on the I think we had, on the night that we were trying, Ronan ended up staying around for a bit longer than the usual day visit, and we ended up playing some card games on the night. But even while we were sat playing the games, I kept checking the speed, and we never got above 4 or 5 meg. So yeah, we had issues right up to the weekend, because I was going to do the show on the Friday, because the engineer basically said it was fixed. I was like, cool, that'll do it. And then within about...
Did you drink in there?
No, I've just had one, thanks.
Did you choke on it?
I don't know what it is. I think it's the air's really dry, or Corona, one of the two. Yeah. Yeah, you got the purple cloak down now. I'm going to also do a lot more of these figures off air, because they do need to go to someone soon. Hello, Joe. I was waiting for a comment from the kitchen. That. So. Trying to see the best way to get to his boots without. The boots are going to take a little bit more coating. Morning, Archning. Pretty good, Joe. How are you? Have you got Anakin yet? And have you painted him Tesseract green? Catch you later, Seb. Take care. Oh yeah, that would more than ruffle feathers. I can imagine Snowy's face right now. So the purple is going on really thin, as you can see, so I'm going to have to do a couple of coats of the purple. And so getting into the back of the boots is proving quite difficult. Hindsight's such a wonderful thing. Is Tomo about? Yeah, a Tesseract limited edition Luke would. Wow. It'd be interesting to see on the battlefield, or how long it was on the battlefield before you got lynched. Right. I am going to do this slightly differently. So what I'm going to do, rather than build it up over that, it is quite shiny and glossy, so it's not the best. So what I'm thinking is, no, I'm going to try it. Put some grey primer back down onto it. Just on I'll do it on the belt. As you can see, the actual primer basically sticks on really well, rather than the fight that we were having with the where are the glasses, with the purple over the red. Getting it over the top of the belt. And then he's definitely got, yeah. The usual superhero underpants over the trousers routine. Yeah, that's going to look a lot better. In between, yes. Aha. But the red panels on the boots are not the same red, or Atomic Mass haven't painted them the same red as his clothes. The panels are a slightly deeper red. So there's the panels there, and then there's stripes in the inlays in the gloves. They look a lot deeper red. Either that, or they have well and truly washed them with purple. I have a double check of that as well, because two different pictures, two different. Yeah, it's slightly deeper red. They've also done the whole clasp and everything all around his neck purple. Cool. So all of this we will be going back over in the purple to get the same match as the cape. There we go. This is how it caught so well, and it puts there. The purple is Phoenician purple. It's the GW Citadel base. I've just got it in a pot. It's really worked well. It came out a lot lighter than I thought it would going off the pot. The only thing that I did do was I painted it over a grey base, which is why I'm going over the red now in the grey base to bring the purple up. Go. And then the hands. God, Jack, what you like? Yeah, that's fine, that. I'm going to get this grey down. I want to make sure this grey actually dries well and truly before I put the purple over the top of it, especially with it being a primer. Because I was late, I've just noticed Martin pressing the donate button. We will be doing the giveaway tomorrow night. I didn't actually... Yeah, we've got a couple of new things that we're going to start doing on the subs and stuff like, well, not the subs, the subs and that are absolutely spot on for us at the moment. The work, they help me and Foxy run the stream. That basically covers our costs and bits and pieces of running it and that sort of stuff. But all of the donations are what gets us the prizes and stuff like that to do giveaways on. Now we're going to use, if anyone's seen our Saturday shows where we do the live sale and stuff like that, we're going to use a bit of that as well. So Zoe has been sleeving up loads of new cards that we got. There we go. And then purple has worked on that. What we're going to do is, because not everyone gets something back from the giveaways, we're going to do the box again with all of the promo cards in. And there were some really good promo cards left in there last time. Yeah. There's the new fire control, the old, very old backwing Jess, Star Championship stuff, quick cards that are in back to front still. More. There was. I even felt a metal card earlier. So there's a K's metal card, Inquisitor, but Zoe's got a box full. Another metal card. Another metal card. R2 Pilot. But on the flip side of this, we have noticed that there is not just X-Wing players that want to help us out, so we've got a load of Legion cards coming as well, and they'll all go into there, and we'll have a big mix-up. I'll add cards to that. Hey, can't. And then what we will do is we'll use our website as a secondary way to do this sort of stuff as well, so you can help the stream by buying one of our promo packs. No expos. Who I'm not sure who G is. So yeah, that's the next bit on Magneto. So a couple of other bits. I want to get the black coat down on these. Pretty sharpish. So this is Crossbones and Redhead, Red Skull. Now, I'm on it. Moon. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I want a quick way of doing these to completion, which I wanted to show you how quick and easy it can be. Remembering our monthly goal, which will be done on New Year's Eve, is our the day we seem to be doing a lot of the giveaway results will be on New Year's Eve. I don't know if it'll be 7 or earlier yet, but it'll be one. It'll definitely be then. Right. So I put a new mat out because I wasn't going to spray. So Red Skull. He came in the starter set. I should have done this at the start, but that'd be Red Skull, and yeah, there's also a nice bucket dropped on my head as well. So, yep, there's Red Skull, and I've definitely got way too much paint left in there for what I needed. Did I need to paint anything black laid around on my table? No. Waste of paint. Oh, no, definitely not. Yes, I can actually do that. Because he needs to be back to black. No mental scarring for me. I was fine. For any that have watched before, that's just our test piece that I needed to revert back to the right colour. Things everywhere in here at the moment. I even tidied up in the garage today a little bit. Ronan actually saw it, so it happened. It's proof. I tidied up. Just checking the airbrush. I've just fully rebuilt the airbrush because of damaging the needle last week. Put a complete new head onto it, new needle, new everything. So that was the quick way to get them two primed. What I'm going to do while we're waiting is get the metalwork done on this, and I've also decided to do the wall and stuff before continuing with the yellow on that, because I know if I get wash over the yellow before I've done the work on it, it won't be very excusable. He says not finding any. Have I run out of nulling oil? So I've got pure nulling oil. Ah, there it is. Ha. It was hiding. Good evening, Kinga. No, we cleared the bins out, cleared loads of the rubbish out, and I really did have a good sort through, because it was a bit of a mess. And when I got rid of loads of the boxes and stuff, God, would you believe it, there was nearly twice as much space in the garage. Yes and no. So you can do it carefully like I did there, and just went gently, but you can just lash it on like you would with an aerosol. You can open the airbrush up fully and just let rip with it. You can probably get more going through that than an airbrush. It was the main reason that I bought into airbrushing, was the saving on primer and the time saving and money saving. It's now turned more to a little bit of a. It works better because it's not as thick. You can control it. When you're using an aerosol can, it just goes everywhere. Whereas people have seen me prime in multicolours, so that's primed in two colours, the white and the grey, and I've done white, black and grey at times. So yeah, it takes priming to a whole new level. Priming and base coating. I'd never have attempted what I did with Magneto. With doing this on the wall, it just means I have to be that extra bit careful. Coming back to do the colours and stuff, but the wall will pop at that. I'll put it there. Again, these need fully doing. So this is my 50/50 null-in wash. I've got the good mat out as well. Oh. Yeah, it's the money it saved me in rattle cans. I still buy rattle cans because I still use it for stuff I'm selling. So a lot of the stuff that we've picked up over the last couple of months, we've been basically priming. So I tend to use GW spray. I buy it in bulk and tend to use the GW spray for that sort of stuff. So my customers get a good quality primer to paint onto. I wouldn't expect them to use a substandard primer, especially if they've bought a second-hand model from us and stuff like that. So we use the good stuff on that. But things like scenery, where you don't need the super fine detail that the GW stuff gives, we use Motox. It's a car company primer. It's £3 or £4 for a 500ml tub, and we use it all the time for scenery. Ronan was using it the other week. He got quite a few bits and pieces brought up to date and really needed finishing, and we just used that and it was really quick. There we go. So that just gets those bits and pieces out the way for now while they're drying, and they're drying. I've got a bit of a thing to show you. So oh, presses and buttons and things are turning off. Yeah, there's pluses and I've not come. The negatives that people give for the airbrush is takes longer. 50-50. By the time you go out into the garage, set up an area, this is a lot cleaner. It doesn't go everywhere. I prefer it. I do have some new primers to test, which I'm about to show you. So I know a few of my friends have been talking about this for a couple of weeks. Is Instance. This is a paint set by Skill 75, and it comes in a mimic chest, as they've called it, but there's no mimic inside. It is just a new set of paints. So they've got layers. So what I'm going to do is, rather than have everything on my desk, is get the trays out. I'm hoping that these trays do come out. This was a Kickstarter. We bought the Kickstarter last year. There's some brushes there, some brushes to test. Please let this come out. So yes, this comes out as well, which is cool, and leaves the box. The box is medium quality. I wouldn't say it was brilliant, but I'm not saying it's good. Yes, it's not good. Well, if it's going to America, I'm definitely not sending it there. So this whole range, I don't know if you can see any of the colours, are Scale 75's version of contrast paints. So that's the complete set. There is Bone Charm Primer, Ice Charm Primer, and Holy Charm Primer. So these, obviously, that definitely needs shaking because it's two different colours top to bottom. So I need to play around with them, see how good they are, see what they do. But they're meant to be airbrush versions of the similar sort of stuff that GW are doing at the moment for their colours. For a little bit disappointed with stuff like that. It just, the sticker hits where it hits. I think quite a lot of this has been done by hand. But the results I was seeing from people using them make for interesting trying. Yeah, the separation in the paint, I don't know how long they've sat there. Yeah, it's not taking much to bring it back. A couple of glass beads in there. I think we got... Did they say they were putting... Oh, they've put put beads in all of the bottles, which was a Kickstarter bonus apparently. So we were meant to get a fluoro colour, which I didn't see. Sulphur yellow. So there's a fluoro colour. There's the instant colours stickers. There's a colour wheel, which is pretty good. So the colour wheel for opposites and all that sort of stuff. It is a pretty cool one. It's not just a sticker, so, and it has all ways to it. It has all the explanations in here of how to use it. That is pretty cool. So what else was there? In the Kickstarter, they gave us a demolding tool. It's quite nice, that one. Yeah, that'll be a brush stand, which basically means your brush is, I might actually start using that. Your brush goes there and it doesn't roll off, which is pretty cool. Yeah. They said they were going to give us some metal, so this is trash metal. Someone was raving about that. I'm going to keep that out. They gave us a couple of their printed bases to try, and a bottle opener. Is it I think it's magnetic as well. Yep, magnetic bottle opener. I can stay on the side of my computer like the other ones. So yeah, it wasn't too bad a Kickstarter. I think the stretch goals could have been a little bit more generous, but you know what? It is what it is. We got a paint set that I really want to try. There's two brushes. I don't know if they are synthetic weathering brush and two synthetic weathering brushes. So yeah, I'll have a play with these off screen before I make an absolute complete wazzick of myself and getting it all wrong. But even a couple of quid a pot, they're pretty good. The primers, I'm quite interested in the yellow primer for some what's it called? Sand effects. We're going to be doing some sandy buildings soon, so they are for that. Oh, they're going to try it on that. And I've got another dry palette. So I'll keep the brushes to one side for now. What else does it? Oh, actually, what did Archon say? Well, lots of. Which ones are Egan? The ones that these ones. If they're the ProTech ones, we've got a few of them. Some of them are out of stock, but we do want to. That one. We have them in stock, I believe, on ProTech. Oh, is that the one you got off us? Yeah. Yeah. I do have a thing for brushes. We've just got the red grass stuff in. I have just restocked all of the Broken Toad stuff. All the Broken Toad stuff is now at full stock again, unless people have gone and bought them in the last hour or so. And I've got some new Broken Toad brushes that I'm trying out, spade and spearhead ones. So I'm going to be using them. I'm gonna have a painting day tomorrow, so if anyone's around tomorrow, I'll be on Discord all day painting. So if you want to pop along, I'll be there. And then back on the night streaming. I don't know. I just want to paint stuff. I'm probably going to grab a load of the Marvel Crisis stuff and hammer through that. Got Green Goblin sat there, 3 Spidey people sat there. I could do with finishing my stuff off. I've got Luke. I have got my Constantine. I really love my Constantines. But yeah, just a couple of bits. Definitely something for myself, I think. As well as stuff for other people. I'll probably need to get some more work done on Magneto and Toad, because they do need to go to the owner. I've got some bits to do for another lad. So yeah, quite a bit of bits and pieces. So what I wanted to quickly show you. Oh. I need some cloth. So easily am I thrown aside. I'll be there all day. So these are just technically 90% black and then some colours, so it can actually look quite daunting to make black have a depth or anything like that. So we'll go with Red Skull first. So what I've got is primered black, just in the standard primer. And as we're on about it, just one of our dry brushes, blue cloth as usual, rub it into the bristles, change glasses so I can actually see, and then looking at all of the pleats and stuff like that, you want to be going across from the edges, so up and down. You see it's starting to pick up all of the raised edges. Spin it around a little bit more. If you put a little bit too much on, we're going to put a wash over it, so it's not too much of an issue. So it may not look that impressive on the screen, but you're getting the layers of a grey and a black. So if you can see on the back, the higher edges do have the grey, and obviously you've not hit the lower edges. So don't worry about hitting his head at the moment. That's going a totally different colour. But once you look, I don't know if you can see all the pleats in the cloak have started to pick up, and you can keep going until you've basically got as much as you want highlighted, or as little as you want. And a really soft dry brush really does help with this. So now you've got the build up of grey. I'm going to do the same on Crossbones while I've got him out. Again, Crossbones is going to have like skin tones and stuff added, but if you do this level first, it's a lot easier to touch the skin up and stuff like that. When I did mine, I did this metallic, so he has a very metal, all of his plates and stuff look very heavily armoured. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but it looks cool, and as I said, it's definitely one of mine, so I've kept this one. Doom Fairies, whereas I can see that somewhere on there. So I used the black primer to base it with, and then GW's Etching Grey, which is quite a dark grey. Oops. But it's also got quite a high pigment content, so it's great for being a dry brush. Yeah, I know it does look like black here, and it doesn't look far off black when it goes on. So when you do the next stage, which I'll show you in a second, which will give me another, because obviously it's going to be a wash, give me a pause for a minute. So dry brush turns into a wet brush, we clean it off. Right, and then go back to, for this I don't tend to use the thinned wash, I just use pure Nullin. Good afternoon, Tomo. Do need to speak to you, Tomo. Started putting your stuff together today and then realised I needed some information from you. So once I've done this, I'll ask you some questions. I'll actually do him first. So straight in with the black Nullin, and it just goes over all of it. What this does show you, that look at the spats that you get from putting a wash on, so just be careful. And someone had a good idea the other day, I won't comment on which Ronin it was, but he got a playmat off us, a card playmat for Game of Thrones, just one of the old ones that we had loads of, and using it as a mat for the table. Good idea. So yeah, all that would have all ended up on the table, the sofa, the cat, the dog. So we're just doing a pretty liberal coating of full-on nulling. Not watered down or anything like that. So, and that's where we have it. Yeah. I don't know about the witch heads option. I've only just started doing your Magneto. So, question about Magneto is, do you want this bit of metalwork putting on? Because it just goes randomly glued to his cloak. It doesn't fit off anywhere else. So, first off, do you want that metalwork on? Second, Toad has those two bits of metalwork on at the front, the metalwork with ruins. Are you wanting them on as well? I have seen people who have. Thank you for the donation, Doom Fairies. Sorry I missed that. I know you looked for the link, but sorry I didn't say thank you. So yeah, just those two little bits, the little bit of rubble and rebar, and then the rubble and huge bit of rebar there. Just let me know which way around. So, Martin and Catherine, I know we've been pushing a lot of games on you, card games and stuff, but speaking to Snowy yesterday and such like, we have a suggestion. So, I know Martin was on about a miniatures game and having just something to play, something where you don't have like the stress of X-Wing and having to do well and all stuff like that. Just to throw down on the table, a couple of bits of terrain and a laugh. So, I've spoke to Paul about this and a couple of others. This is Wow, that's big. This is Frostgrave, 2nd edition. So, the expense of getting into the game is buying the book. Yeah. This company, I'm just making sure I've got no stuff down on here. Basically, they have the rules for the game and how to play it in there. They do have their own miniatures set. Yeah. So you can go and buy a box of miniatures. You can go and use all the miniatures that they tell you to buy or tell you to use. But they also say you don't have to use our miniatures. Go and use some GW ones. Use some GW ones you've already got. Pick up some bits and pieces from D&D. It doesn't matter what figures you use or what you build and what you paint with them. They are basically however you want it. I've got two options that I'm looking at the moment. So the basics of it, you have a wizard, an apprentice, and then like hired thugs or archers or stuff like that, and you make up a points to make a little team. We do need to go through the exact rules. I think me and Ronan are going to do it. So you create a wizard. It's by the same company, Egan. It's Osprey. So it's the same company. They make the money off the rule books. So yeah, then you can choose which type of spell line you want to go for, then your apprentice, then the soldiers, and you get so much money. And then you run it as a campaign. So we'll have a little battle, we'll try and steal treasure. It's all run off scenarios, so it'll be grab a treasure trove from X, the worm hunt, museum, mausoleum, the silent tower, like loads of different. So there, you roll a d20 and there's your whichever one you want to do, and it tells you how to set it up and what you've got to play for and stuff like that. And we've played it with James, and it was just it was just a load of fun. The book, for the time being, we've got them for 17 quid. I know Paul's after one. You only need one between the two of you. And then Catherine can paint up some beautiful warbands, because you need a wizard, an apprentice, and then, a wizard, or a witch, an apprentice, and then some amazing troops like archers, swordsmen, and stuff like that. Just having a handful of them. You can pick them up. We might even have ones that we can give you just from the junk lots of we've got. Yeah, it is massively narrative. There's lots of what are the water cooler moments. Me and Snowy have played games at different times, and we've had some really funny experiences with them. But as I say, I was going to use Constantine as my yeah, you could probably Vader as the Wizard, the Apprentice. Or you could probably have Palpatine and Vader, and then some Stormtroopers or bits and pieces like that. I've got some Lord of the Ring dwarfs, and I've got a librarian in that, and I was going to use the dwarfs, so I've got that team already built and painted. And then there is Elder Scrolls, the stuff that we've been selling for a while. I know Tomo's got Elder Scrolls miniatures nearly bloody finished as well, painted and started on some of the other bits. But one of their sets has a wizard and an apprentice in, so you could knock them up and you're practically there, sort of thing. Good starter one. No, it's more of a fun. Yeah. I don't. You could probably get away with some Marvel characters. I think the only difference is it's 28mm, so the Marvel characters might be a little bit too big. But I've seen people use D&D characters. I don't have the money to do it, but I would love to do Rincewind, Rindacully, and the guard from the watch from Discworld. Yeah, but there's loads of stuff. Dead Steve, we were talking to him, and he's on about, or we suggested he uses his Army of the Dead from Decimators as wizards. Yeah, there's a full line of miniatures, Ronan, and I would absolutely love them. I don't know where I had a Rincewind. Yep, I have somewhere I have Rincewind under luggage. Yeah, luggage is amazing. But yeah, you can have Death and his daughter as the wizard and apprentice. The watch seemed the perfect bunch of thugs to have as your warband thugs. So yeah, it really is. It's a cracking system, and you can use whatever miniatures take your fancy. You could go and buy a warband box from Osprey. They do the full sets, but you can open your mind up to all kinds of imagination, he says. Right, I'm going to get some more of... so he's still damp. Let's get some of the purple down on him. I'm meant to be selling it to Martin. And D20s. It's a D20 game. Don't sell your stuff. You just keep going, ooh, shiny, I'll have. I know the feeling about the Digimon. But yeah, it's not one to rush out and like buy all the miniatures and buy everything now, but if you learn the rules, then you know what miniatures you can have a think of what it is. And as I said, we've got someone who's quite good at scenery at the moment. He might have glued himself to most of it today, but we've got a load of scenery, so whenever we can get back out into the wild, we can have a few Frostgrave sessions here. I used to have a beautiful Frostgrave board, but I ended up giving it away, and I really should build another one for us. It's the sort of thing where you can spend 20 quid on a warband, shove it in a box, and just have it sat there for whenever you want to play. Yeah, there is that. I've played it, so I know the basics, but this is the 2nd edition, and it's all been streamlined, and there's better things. So as you go on, you basically you see the mission and you choose your warband from a roster. So as you're going along your roster, you can actually lose characters. So you can actually lose your wizard. My wizard became very useless in our game because he lost his arm, or was it his leg? I think he lost his leg and was immobile. I hope that's not a thing anymore, because yeah, I just had to basically start a warband again. It wasn't too hard, but yeah, it makes life quite interesting. I think the Fellowship would be doable. You would probably have to go with maybe Gandalf and another wizard, or basically a wizard and an apprentice wizard, and then pick some troops, that sort of thing. The bad part about it is the troops are quite expendable. I did lose quite a lot of my troops in the time I was playing. So if you're sticking Gimli in there as your troops, you could lose him quite easily. Yeah, they're an expendable asset because you hire them, and then yeah, sometimes it can be just as cheap to buy a new thug than fix the old one. Itchy lug. So we've seen how the paint's gone a lot cleaner and a lot nicer over the primer, rather than it going over the red. I need to get in the back of that. But the possibilities are endless. It literally is your own imagination of what warband you want. You could buy GW figures, you could buy Mantic figures. Yeah, there's loads to choose from. D&D figures, the one you could even use the pre-painted D&D figures if you must. But the paintable D&D figures, all that sort of stuff, anything like that will work fine. Need to be very careful around his neck area. There you go. A little bit more on the boots. That red is quite overpowering. Catch you later, Archnin. Take care. Oops, sorry. So, obviously, once some of this shine will come off once we put the varnish and everything on. I'm also going to be washing it down a little bit to get the definition of the chest plates and stuff like that. Now, I need to do the face first. Yeah, that's basically what it is. You can put as much or as little as you want into it, mate. Yep, the straps. I need a close-up on his head. That will work. Yeah. I've got it. I've literally just seen it come up in the. It's working out how to keep the bright oomph as well. I'll probably go down with the grey again, Tomo, for the flesh. Can I actually zoom in on that? So the flesh tone, and then the flesh tone and the purple around the. Yeah. So he has got a let's see how well this takes. That's nice. So just with the null in again, giving the definition back to the recesses. I think it's going to work on the purple as well. check on the bolt and the, yeah. So, this is mine. How do you want yours doing, Dean? Oh. Wow. This is picking the null in, and with it being slightly glossed, it's hammering the recesses massively. Yeah, that's... wow. Can't ever remember washing the metallic like that before. That has surprised me. Sorry guys, I'll get the boots shaded with the null in as well. I'll do the cloak, I'll do that at hands with a small brush. So I'll pick out a lot of the detail again. Once that's dry, but the red's gone to a fantastic colour. I'm going to do this to the helmet first before doing the flesh tones. If I don't, and I get null-in on the flesh, it goes a horrible like a grey colour, like a witch flesh colour. I think that's the best way to describe it. Yeah, that looks cool. Right, I'll do that, and then I'm going to take the big brush for this. See, I wouldn't normally use the purple, but the purple for GW's washes I'm not the biggest fan of. So if I use the null-in and then bring some extra dry brush to it, just to get the detail a lot. So I'll probably use two different purples to bring it back. I've still got the metal work to do afterwards, but the detail that it's going to pick out, with it being black, it does make it a lot stronger. starting to fill in the gaps. Yeah, you can see. Oh, sorry. Let's see that. And what I've got to watch for is this. It's starting to build up. In these spots. That's the cloak done with the wash. Right, he's going to take a little while to dry. As said, I'm going to do the giveaway tomorrow night. I didn't get a chance to get anything sorted for tonight, so I'll do the giveaway tomorrow night. I'm sure that is a Matthew that's just said hello. Hello there, Matthew. Yeah, I'm still considering various ways of doing it. Well, that'll come. I'll let him dry. So we've now got a dry. No, we haven't. And that, the next stage I want to do is another dry brush, and that little bit of dampness at the bottom there will mess it up. So I'm not going to attempt it just yet. But I say we've got loads on the go. This is Ebony Moor. That I'm not convinced at the yellow colour down Ebony Moor's chest plate. I think it should be a like more orangey. Yeah, more orangey yellow. The Wolverine's yellow is quite easy because I would just paint it in the yellow. I'm thinking more sun yellow for him. So I'd airbrush the yellow in to start with. Use that as the prime colour, and then build the other colours over the top of it. So it would just be painted yellow. And then, as I say, go for it from there. But I do need glasses on for this one. So we've done the yellow before, but just adding to it. Yeah, that yellow, it's going on a lot nicer, and it's a lot, it's like a fiery yellow. Yeah, that's a much better colour. It's quite lemony yellow, that one. As I say, that works as a base. Anyway, so that looks a lot better. Might not be noticeable as much to you on the stream. But yeah, to me it's really noticeable. Yeah, yellow and white are probably the two. There is a secret squirrel ability, and it stems around this super duper pot of paint that I can't find. It is. It's a GW Ulthan Grey. So yeah, if you've painted something, then you need to do yellow after it. Paint it with Ulthan first, and then the yellow over the Ulthan. The Ulthan is a greyish, very close to white colour, but for some reason it's one of those mysteries that basically it's a really good paint, a really thick pigment content, or really high pigment content, not thick pigment content, which gives you the ability to coat black. You could probably put it over black primer and you wouldn't have much of an issue getting the colour to settle. This is where we say there's paint for paint's like a toolbox. There's oddball paints in every set that have a really good attribute. Some of the metallics out of the Army Painter range, they're absolutely phenomenal. Well, other ones, I've got certain go-to paints for a lot of stuff. My yellow is usually the GW yellow, the base coat yellow, and then build it up from there. So I'm quite happy with that yellow one there, actually. I need to do this side. This is sun yellow, and it's game colour. It's a cracking yellow. It's probably one of the better ones for coverage out of the ranges. GW has the good one, which is a base paint, but it is a very deep orangey yellow, and then you need other yellows over the top of it to build it up. So what I do need to do is slightly tidy up the back bit. Yeah, Army Painter metallics are really good. I've got I bought the full box set. It is again, it's just one of those ones that it does what it does on the tin. In fact, one of my favourite metallics for basically covering and getting a good base down He says looking for it, and he just wonders if he's put it away. Is plate mail silver, or plate mail, as it now may be called by Army Painter. I always used to have a pot of it kicking about. If it's not there, I was trying to find it because it's their first bottling, as it were. Their prime vintage. But I've got the full set of Army Painters just down here. All the Army Painter stuff. Their washes are really good as well. So I've got the new versions, plate mail silver. Oh. No, I'm not using the £50 paint that I don't know where I've put at the moment to paint anything else silver that isn't going to. None of the expensive stuff sold. So what I'm going to do is, so on the back of Ebony Maw we have 2 channels that run down his cloak. They seem to have got nulling in them. They're meant to be white, which I believe I did with Untitled Grey. Where did I put the... Aha. Yeah, the paint sets for tanks seem to be specific to one army. Which metallics are you using? Them ones. Not them ones, because that's the airbrush range. But that's still the airbrush range, Lee. If you keep going to the airbrush range, it's never going to change what it is there. Right. That type. That's the only one I've got. That's because you're doing it wrong. That's the metallics that you want. The metal colour acrylic range. Yeah. The copper, I need a new one. I'm nearly out of copper. Yeah. Gold. I have a full set, and we stock it as well. Because the usual thing, we stock the stuff that we use and we like. It's the thing is, Egan. What is it? Yeah, as I said, the the plate mail metal is one of my favourites, even above these. But that is a. I'm trying to do words and numbers. 32mm pot. GW pots are 12mm, and they're only about £1 difference. And that stuff is absolutely amazing through an airbrush, straight up, just straight in and airbrush it. But it's also really good through just doing it as a brush paint. So what I'm going to try and do is get those 2 white lines back in, and I'm going to use a whitewash. Yeah, it'll only dry. The thing is, these bottles have got a proper seal on the top, so I very much doubt they will dry up. I think I've had some of mine for 2 years that I've never used. I just went and bought the entire range, and a lot of them are pretty close to each other. So, right, what I'm going to try and do is I don't know if you can see that. But exactly like you would if it was nulling, I'm just using the whitewash to fill out some of it. It'll fall into the recesses and drop off where it's not needed. There we go. It's a very niche product. It doesn't get used that often, but my white Vallejo wash is fantastic. So you can see the black on here. I did the black the same way as I've done the blacks on them. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm actually probably going to paint those lines back in properly. Oh, in fact, I'm going to do them both the same. Whitewash it so it fills the gaps. There we go. If you need to catch the where you clip the, I don't think it'll stain the black that well, but it just brings a white tint to the around the edge of that. I'm going to leave it laid on its back so it doesn't all just run to the bottom of it. But yeah, that's another, again, I use that for brickwork. So when you've got red brickwork and you want the whitewash in between, the white Vallejo wash is absolutely fantastic. It is. Right. Close that. What time is it? Whoa, 10 to 9. I didn't realise the time. Have a quick look at these. They're still, again, they still need a bit of a, just let them dry off. They're nearly ready to be, some rust and some damage and stuff like that. I still need to redo the metalwork on him. Yeah, and highlight some of the purple. And he should, once it's done, pop. The chest and everything's come out really nice. I've got something bright on the screen that's causing it to dull. I don't know what it is. There you go. And so we've got the black now. Has actually highlighted it, and as I say, for a 2-minute job, paint black, dry brush etching, wash, you've got most of the work done. So I can see what you're saying, Con. It's coming up. Okay, no worries, mate. So, right. Have I got? Can I get away with it? So, taking the etching again, but this time I'm going to really go light with the etching. Yeah, we do tend to miss the YouTube messages just because it doesn't show that well. So just gently getting all of the very raised edges of, you can see that you're just getting the highest edges of the cloak and the armour. And you don't want much at all. There we go. If you get it right, you can actually edge highlight with a dry brush. I've done it a few times and it's come out really well. You just got to go across the grain of whatever you're wanting edge highlighting. It's a lot quicker than doing it by yeah, the problem I have, Tomo, is one, I try to sell a lot of these, and some people just want what's on the box. Going with some of the good evening, Snowy. Yeah, going with some of the alt versions, it's hard to actually sell them off afterwards. My Etching Grey pot has decided not to work anymore. Where's the X-Acto blade? We've just been explaining to Catherine and Martin how Frostgrave would be a good start into the miniatures. Yeah, I'm just doing that. For a personal set, I probably would do something really weird. But my personal set, remember, was to sell as well. And also it was a bit of an advert to sell the painting and stuff like that, so it has to be relatively normal. My Iron Man's done. It just obviously some of them just never sold because so many people liked painting Iron Man, so it wasn't one that ever sold, and now I've got him back because yeah. So I'm just using Etching Grey. It is, I've just realised, it is the airbrush Etching Grey, so it has gone on rather thin. My apologies. So a second coat, just quickly. Doesn't need to be, because this is going blue, it doesn't need to be that big. Yeah, just the book and D20s. And some minis. As I say, you can use whatever minis you want. I'll go with not glorious gold. Where's brassy brass? Bright bronze. Bright bronze will do. A quick bright bronze belt. We've just got a couple in, and they're £17. So just the buttons. Yeah, it's a hardback book and it's 17 quid. It's usually 25 quid, but there's stores doing it for 17 quid now, so we basically said we would match the pricing. There is, that one's not. That one's to be red. There's no straps or anything like that. No. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I didn't think of like figures from old games either. So I'm using white primer on his head. When I did mine, I didn't actually fix the head on, and I sprayed it white primer. This time I'm going to have to do 2 coats of the primer to get the red to pop. Yeah. So that's you control one set each, so you want to use your own. I may have got in trouble for flouting that rule slightly because in the first edition I made a mistake with one of the spells, and yep, easy mistake to make. go. Another little bit on the cube, just to... I might do. That's fine. What I've just done is use some of the white primer to do the edges, the top edges. It might give it a bit of a better blue glow. No, we've not. It's basically a skirmish game. You will have a mission to do. You set up on the board how the mission tells you, whether it's 1, 2, 3 or 4 players that are playing. You can adapt the missions to suit more players. You then have to do what it tells you. It's an idea of grabbing treasure, capturing someone and doing that. And then once you've played, you're against... If me and Snowy were playing, I would be against Snowy. We would fight out. We would stop. We would both be doing a mission that causes interaction. Like, I've got to grab some chests and run them off the board. Snowy wants those chests just as much as me, so he'll stop me, or try to stop me. And then you... I think Snowy's just explained most of it. About to already. Yeah, Corn. It's Frostgrave. It really is good fun. I played first edition and had a great laugh with it. But the people that I played with moved on to other games and disappeared, even from the area. So, unfortunately, it's one of those things. That red is very bright. I may have gone too bright on the red. No, that's fine. That's okay. May need a second coat, but it is... Yeah, that's cool. That is a really nice red. That was Pro Krill's clear over the white, and it's given some of the definition from underneath, where it's... Oh, that's cool. Yep. So, I need to do the blue. I know we're running late. Yeah, I'll probably put a wash on it as well. I know we are running slightly late, but the only thing I'd be doing about now, if I end the stream, is going and playing some tanks. So I don't mind doing... That's not the right colour. Where's the blue? Blur. Oh. What have I done with it? It's not the sort of stuff I should be losing. That one? Ah. There it is. It's not in the store at the minute. It came through the door about about 2 hours ago, just before the stream started. So Tesseract, he is really itchy. I've just used the Gulliman Blue glaze on it. I did say I wanted to get one as close to finished as possible tonight, so is that my Dark Sea Grey? So most of my basing is done Dark Sea Grey, null in wash, and then a dry brush of the that's quite bad. Dawnstone, GW's Dawnstone. As always, I'll be edging it in black, so it doesn't really matter. And this is why I should have it in a stand, but I run out at the moment. I need more. So yeah, all my bases for this I've done about the same. I metallic up the grate, but it is basically just a really simple way. I said this, and I've got his name now. Why do I keep going to call him Sawbones? Yeah, he should be no more than an hour to paint, start to finish. Maybe there's a little bit of drying time in between, but nothing major. He's black base, highlight with the dry brush, and then wash it back, and then we'll bring it back with a bit of dry brush again. Crossbones, that's the one. Wow. That's fine. I wonder what that brush was there. So that's to dry. Yeah. So when he's still got lots of wet patches because there's a lot of underhangs on him, but when you look, you can actually see all the pouches and everything do have like a highlight to them already. His face is an interesting one to sort out. I won't do it yet because I need a re-dry brush. There's the skin tones, the face. Again, you could probably rattle him in. A lot of these to tabletop, I'm not saying doing them to a massive high-end standard. I mean, getting them onto the tabletop, very much like Kingpin last week and stuff like that. They're a couple of hours at the most. You will have drying time in between and stuff like that, but that's to be expected. Doing a little bit of extra, then that's down to you if you want to push extra time in. Things like when you look at the one on Atomic Mass website, I've missed the clasp there, so there's a clasp on, but what they've done is they've gone down all of the cloak bits and done edge highlights. There's nothing to say that you can't grab a fine brush and do some edge highlights. The Tesseract cube, the glow has basically done what it should. It's given the effect of where he's got hold of it, it's built up a bit of extra blue around it. So I could just quickly, with a very small dry brush, and I do have a tiny dry brush, so with a tiny dry brush I could take white and just do the corners and the edges, and that would pop. That's all it needs. The head, I'm probably going to look at, I think I'm going Yeah, I'm going to use a nulling wash on it. It's not Tesseract glow. Yeah, it's a Tesseract, but not a glow. So the 50-50 nulling this time onto the head. And then that'll give all of the... I don't even know where my Tesseract glow is today. But I have a green goblin that's crying out for a Tesseract. So yeah, that's quickly done. That's Reichland Gloss. Where is Reichland Normal? No, Seraphin's too light. Reichland Flesh Shade. What's this? So I'm going to use Devlin Mud to do the... it is a wash. It's an old GW wash. I'm just going to use it on that because... it is a fantastic wash. Flaunting your Devlin. I did only use it for the little bit of brass. But yeah, I do like it on the brass. It does settle and it does give a really nice effect. So that's him not far off. I do need to go in very closely and do the 2 strap buckles. I would probably... Oh, I need to do his... I have missed his shoulder pad in red, so I need to do his shoulder pad. But basics of it is that is as quick as it needs to be. Once the wash is finished on his face, using... There is a red, I don't know where it is. I do have a red dry brush paint, so I'd probably just do a little bit of red dry brush on his head. Maybe a couple of bits of highlighting, edge highlighting, just a couple of bits down each one of the edges of his belt. I might actually paint his belt slightly different colour. Or these tassels that go down here. Might put a bit of a glaze down them in a lighter colour. X-Wraith Flame. It's nearly Tesseract. Scale colour in Intensity Lime. But no. I don't know where the Tesseract's gone. Sorry. I'll find it for tomorrow. I can stick Tesseract on something for you. That's still damp. So yeah, as I say, we're not getting whole figures done because we're taking away the basics of going. Wash is drying on that. We'll move to this. That's painted, that's done. Wash is drying on that. We'll move to that. For some reason, the wash is still wet on... oh no, it's not. So, he's not far off ready to... You know that feeling that you've used nulling gloss? That's given a really good effect on the brickwork. Even I'm impressed with that. It's on the box, Tomo. The box art has toured with that there. On one of them it does. Because that's what I copied off the back of the box. Oop. Or was it in the booklet? See, on the box it doesn't have anything on. Where's the... Must have been the instruction book that I copied off then. Yeah. So it's 2 optional bits. I knew I hadn't just made it up. Yeah, that surprised me as well. Shh. Wow. So yeah, that's that. As I say, we'll be back tomorrow night. I'm going to call it at that because I've come to a natural halt, as it were. I'll move my brushes over here out the way for now. For anyone again who was asking about the Frostgrave books, that's the Frostgrave book. It's a hardback book. I'll remember it's on tomorrow. It's RRP of 25 quid. As I say, we're doing it at trade price just because a few places are doing it at that sort of price. And there's your wizards, your shooting defense modifiers, and all sorts of stuff like that. It is very basic. There's nothing there's nothing too hard about it. If people can teach me to play it, then yeah, easy. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a great night. Sorry there was no giveaway. As I say, I'll get the giveaway set up for tomorrow night, the normal giveaway, but we'll also be doing the new support as well, which is going to be, you'll get your hands on some bits and pieces rather than it just being a donation. I'll give a bit back, give a bit more back, and yeah, I just don't have everything set up. I wanted to do it tonight, but Zoe's been trying to help in the background while we've been doing it, so I thought you were going to say you got 10 models done there. Wow. Right, catch you all tomorrow. Thank you for coming by, and as I say, we'll get the giveaway things running tomorrow night. I might throw something special in. So in the meantime, everyone, stay safe and catch us all soon. Good night.